Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Need an orthopedist? Go to Brock. Of course, you need a roof. Give us a shout 364-1007, 364-1007. The name of the new roofing company will be announced any day now. Looking forward to that, certainly. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. My goodness, I'm going to go see Crystal tomorrow at Restored Motions. I'm overdue. Um, Actually had a session booked last week, and then Crystal got sick, and so I had to move to this week. And ProCharge EV, prochargeev.com. Okay, y'all. Glad to have you aboard with us here after a massively busy, jam-packed weekend. Things slow down a bit today. LSU baseball does play Nicholls tonight out at the box. So it's uh, an opportunity for LSU to get back out there. A little bit of a revenge spot, as it were, against the Colonels. Um, uh, Last year, Nicholls beat LSU at the box 6-5. Um, wait, was that at Nicholls? They played twice last year. Maybe Nicholls won there and LSU won here. Maybe that's how. Anyway, Nicholls got a win over LSU last year. And so maybe a little revenge spot for the Tigers. But mostly, I think it's just an opportunity to get out there and try to play well, keep the good vibes going after a series win, and move on into the weekend. So they got Nicholls tonight, 10-5 in the Southland right now. They won the Southland Tournament Championship last year, and they can swing it, man. Nicholls hitting 310 as a team, and we'll see what pitchers TBA. So LSU did not name a starter. Would stand to reason that they'd go with Cade Anderson. We've talked about Cade, so good in the pre-conference, and then they try to use him out of the bullpen in SEC play. It did not go well. So kind of more back in that midweek role. So we'll see if Cade gets the ball tonight. I would assume he would. So LSU baseball against Nicholls, the Pels and the Thunder had the night off, so they'll play on Wednesday, and then they'll play back-to-back Saturday, Sunday games in New Orleans. So that's a little odd that they're going to go back-to-back. It feels like tend to space these things out more. And candidly, I'm a little bummed because I was really hoping we'd end up with a Pelicans playoff game at Don Juan while we were doing the draft party because, man, there were so many people. 2 years ago, the Pels Suns game 6 from the blender was on during the draft party. And so there were so many people there for the Pelicans. There's so many people there for the draft. It was great. But anyway, so they'll play Wednesday, Saturday. Oh, forgive me. It's Wednesday, Saturday, Monday. I looked at it wrong yesterday. So it's Wednesday, Saturday, Monday. All right. And then speaking of draft week, it's interesting if y'all are following the Jaden Daniels stuff. We'll come to your comments here in a second. Last week, Jaden's agent got a little uppity or huffy, however you want to say, upset that that the top 4 quarterbacks were all brought to Washington at once. Jaden thought he was going for a one-on-one visit. Anyway, so agent was tweeting some things, and so Jaden's odds to go number 2 overall dropped. He's still the favorite to go number 2 overall. We'll see how it plays out. Well, there was an anonymous head coach told ESPN that he thinks Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the draft. That it's his words. It was a no-brainer that he would take Jaden over Caleb Williams. Now we know Caleb Williams is going number 1. He's going to the Bears. They've already made that decision. And excuse me. So the question that I'm wondering is, what if this is some degree of like subterfuge? What if Jaden's agent is in Jaden's camp? They're trying to convince Washington not to draft him too. And then the Raiders trade up to 3 to take Jaden. Jayden played for Antonio Pierce and Herm Edwards at Arizona State, so he's got that relationship there. He thanked Antonio Pierce by name in his Heisman acceptance speech. So, and Jayden was on a podcast with Shannon Sharp, and Ocho actually, and talked about the possibility of going to the Raiders. Said, I don't know how they get up there to get me, but look, I'll remind you, last year, um, the Texans traded all the way up to 3 to get from 12 to 3 to get Will Anderson. So it's possible you could see the Raiders go from 13 to 3 to take Jaden Daniels if he's there. Something worth keeping an eye on as the draft approaches. Okay. Y'all know the drill as always. If you're there on YouTube, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. We appreciate you for being with us. And we'll get your questions as always, so fire away. Charles Bouquet, good morning. Love the show. Look forward to it every morning in Charleston. Thank you, Charles. Good of you to be there, man. Thanks for watching over there in Charleston. Beautiful territory there as well. Jay, good morning. Hey, Deborah, good morning. Matt, good morning. What time does Shay come on? 3:15. Want to see what he says about Jakeem Stewart. Okay, I'll ask. But yeah, 3:15 is Shay. We used to do, Matt, we used to have Shay on at 4. But when we go back to back Shay and then Lee Feinswag, it just the segments got so compressed after that because when you have a guest, it's much harder to time out a segment because you can't control what they say, how long their answers are, et cetera. So anyway, we kind of just broke them up. So we have Shay now at 3:15. So the second segment of the show. And of course, we'll have it on demand afterwards. Darren James. Damon Gilmore, good morning. Hey, Bart, good morning. Can't wait to hear about the new company any day now. And I'm excited. I can't wait to tell you about it. Joel Cunningham, do we really trust Bucknam over guys like Guidry right now? I think so. You're talking about game 2 against Missouri when they went to Bucknam. I think you also have to consider the situation. So, pull it up so I don't screw it up. Whoops, that's not what I wanted at all. Here we go. Okay. So, I'm going to answer your question. So, Bucknam came in, let's see. Bucknam came in to start the 8th. Bucknam came in to start the 8th, and it was a 7-4 game because this was after Travinsky homered. So it's 7-4 at this point. And they go fly out homer, ground out single, then Lower came in to get the last out. In a 7-4 ball game, you're down 3 in the bottom of the 8th, right? So it's easy to ask that question, Joel, with the benefit of hindsight, knowing that LSU would put up the 3 spot in the 9th. But when you're down 3, so think of it this way, when you're down 3 in the bottom of the 8th, do you really want to put one of your best arms out there, knowing you're likely going to lose and you have to come back and play on Sunday, and you'd want your best arms available to you on Sunday? So that's the part that I think when, like, with the benefit of hindsight, you can ask that question because Tommy White homered and LSU put up a 3 spot in the 9th and ended up losing by a run, and it was Bucknam who gave up the solo homer. But in a 7-4 ball game in the bottom of the 8th, down 3, like, you'd be certifiably insane knowing you're 3 outs away from a loss to go use one of your better arms. So you're asking the wrong question. It's not, do we trust Bucknam more than Guidry? It's look at the situation and say, do you really put a guy that you could count on Sunday in that situation right there, knowing you're going to have a quick turnaround in that spot? So, from a game that's wrapping up at night to a game that's going to start earlier in the afternoon. So I don't know. I hope that makes sense. But I think you're asking the question with the benefit of hindsight, knowing LSU scored 3 in the 9th. Because what if LSU goes 3 up, 3 down in the 9th, and you're going, why'd you run Guidry out there in a 7-4 ball? Like, do we really not trust Guidry that we're running him out there in a 7-4 ball game in the bottom of the 8th? And by the way, I think he likes Michael Bucknam. I think he's going to get more run. It's a good young arm. along with Aiden Moffett. James McKinney, Jesse Brown, Jason, good morning. Started my birthday with you and the crew. Kicks of the day. Pulled out my 11s for today. Shoe Gang Team Drew. If Drew's around, I'd love a happy birthday from the superstar if he's awake. So, Jason, if he wakes up, I'll absolutely have him come sing to you, but he is still sleeping. And I'm kind of hoping I'm talking a little loud, so maybe he'll wake up. If I do hear him wake up, we'll bring him in here. By the way, kicks of the day, going some G Nikes, pull out the yellow in the shirt. So I like these. They're a little loud, a little stylish, a little flashy. So got the yellow in the shirt, yellow in the shoe. Happy birthday, dude. Hope it's a great one. Brett Gidry, good morning. Can you explain the new NIL rule? I'm a little confused. Are universities allowed to pay students? So Virginia just passed this law, and there's other states that have similar legislation. I know Louisiana is one of them. I don't know candidly if Louisiana's law is passed or where it stands. So it's what it would allow, Brett, is for either the university or the university athletic department to contract with the student for an NIL deal. It wouldn't be pay for play, which I know is you're blurring all these lines. We're not you, Brett. I mean, just collectively, they're all blurring these lines, which we all know. But because of course it's pay for play, but there has to be a deliverable. So, for example, you ride down Bluebonnet, and there's this electronic billboard, and it rotates all the time, and you always see LSU athletes. Like, right, I saw one yesterday that had Squirrel Burrell on there, the track guy. Well, LSU, in theory, could pay Squirrel for that appearance on that billboard as a marketing fee. They're using him to market their sport, right? Which is so interesting because LSU got crushed nationally years ago with Ben Simmons because they had the 25 is coming campaign. And I'm like, why wouldn't you market the fact that Ben Simmons is here and that you want to, want people to come watch him play and he's amazing and all that stuff? I was like, but similarly, they have volleyball billboards and track billboards and tennis and all different types of stuff that they market their sports. So, and they're non-revenue athletes. So anyway, that's essentially what it would allow. It would allow the university or the athletic department to sign their athletes to NIL deals to market their stuff. Kelly Gross, Pat Huseman, James Avery, Joel, good morning, Matt. Cade Anderson seems like a different pitcher when he gets the start out of the bullpen. Versus out of the bullpen, sorry. Seems like he'd be a great candidate for Sunday guy. Thoughts? No, Joel, they gave him a run in conference play in back-to-back weekends, and it did not go great. I just don't think he's ready to pitch against SEC hitters. But you're right. Some pitchers are just better when they know they're pitching that day and they have their starters routine. Some guys are better as starters than they are out of the bullpen, and vice versa. So I don't know with Cade Anderson necessarily that it's being a starter versus coming to the bullpen. I think it's really just a matter of he wasn't ready to get outs in the SEC. So his day will come. Taylor, morning, Matt. Work question. Obviously, with your job, you have to repeat yourself a lot, answer a lot of the same questions, talk about the same thing, different platforms. Ever get tired of that? Absolutely. I mean, yes. I repeat myself a lot. But Taylor, but a couple things. Number one, it's part of the reason why one of my biggest pet peeves. If people ever criticize me or my show, I really don't care. I don't internalize it. It's just I've told y'all this before. It's like a musician or someone who makes movies or an artist or any like you can't make people like your stuff. All you can do is put out your content, and if people like it, great. So I don't ever internalize it. I never take it personally. The one thing that bothers me is when people say, you said ... and what they're saying I said is wrong. I'm like, it's the digital era. I'm on a bajillion different platforms for a bajillion hours a day. And I'm consistent. Like if I say something here, I'm not going to change what I say on another platform. Like I'm consistent. And it's not hard to find what I said. So if you say that I said something and that's incorrect, then I get upset because like you're just lazy and you're labeling me away with something I didn't say or do. That's the one thing that really does bother me is when people say, Matt, you said, and they're wrong. I didn't say that. That's the thing that bothers me. But yes, but oh, the other part of that too, Taylor, is but that's also the reason why you've got to be true to yourself. Why you can't fabricate opinions, because then you'll end up talking to yourself in circles and you'll get caught. If you say what you believe and believe what you say and you're consistent with it on any platform, then I can say the same thing on a million different platforms because I'm never changing my opinion. Like if I said one thing here and a different thing on AFR, y'all would go, "Hey man, but you said," and you'd be right if I changed my mind, but I didn't. So, but that's part of it, man. Different people consume content on different platforms at different times. Some of y'all watch this, some of y'all like AFR, some of you listen to the podcast. Some of you would rather watch YouTube videos, short form, you know, TikTok, whatever. Thanks for the question. Hey, Bill, good morning. Mark Allen, when do you think we'll see defensive tackle commit to LSU in the portal? I think this is going to be a big week for LSU. Had a convo on Saturday that would lead me to believe this week will be a big week for LSU. Brant, good morning. Is Jay going to have to rebuild the roster next season as much as he did last season? Assume we don't lose anyone to the portal. Well, you're going to lose people to the portal. I mean, Brant, I think everybody every year is going to lose players to the portal. And there's some pretty obvious candidates. It's not going to be as big of a rebuild because you're not going to like literally set a program record for the number of guys going into the draft. But I think maybe the most encouraging thing is Jay leaning on some of the young guys. Like, you will have a good core of young guys that have taken their lumps this year. Larson, Milam, Fry, who hasn't played as much lately, but Jay gave him some run in SEC play and he couldn't put the ball in play. But I think Ethan Fry is your first baseman next year. He will take Jared Jones' spot. Jones is a draft eligible sophomore. He is going to sign a pro contract. And so you're going to lose veteran guys like Travinsky and Kling is a draft eligible sophomore. I'm assuming he's going to sign as well. So you're going to have some of those young guys that bolt out of the program. But the guys from this class, Jake Brown, I think hopefully watching those guys take that next step next year, I think would be is really the optimistic point of view. But think about your pitchers. I mean, Hurd, Jump, Holman, they're all gone. I mean, they're all signing. So you're going to have to rebuild your rotation again. So, I think Herring could be a rotation piece for you next year. Obviously can. It's just a matter if you want him in the rotation or in the bullpen. I would assume Cade Anderson, is there. Next year, you should get I'm blanking. Oh my God, my brain just went completely blank. Tall kid who throws 100 at Tommy John. Why am I blanking? I know some of y'all already posted it. What am I? Chase Shores. Oh my God. Why did that just completely evade me? Anyway. So, you'll have Shores back. You'll have arms, but you're going to be remaking your rotation. Timothy Fontenot, good morning. Vaughn, good morning. Today's my birthday. Matt, our mother share the same birthday. Hey, Drew, I missed you the other day. Just saw the mooses on your jams. So, Vaughn, is today really your birthday? Because that's pretty cool then. So, Vaughn and Jason, both share a birthday today. That's really cool. So, happy birthday to you as well, Vaughn. Drew is not awake yet, but if he does wake up, it's 7:53. We only got like 5 minutes left of the show. If he does manage to wake up, I'll get his little T Heine in here to sing happy birthday to everybody. But if not, remind me and we'll do a retroactive happy birthday for those that we missed. Wade, good morning. Glad to catch the show. How do you think Loomis, Allen, and Kubiak will gel their first draft together? That's a good question. I don't think Kubiak actually is going to have any say. I don't know a scenario where offensive coordinators have been called into the room to give their opinion. I think the draft is typically going to be your general manager, your head coach, and your scouts. I could be wrong on that. Again, candidly, I don't know how the Saints manage that, but it's hard to imagine that they would want that many voices in the room. I think you could certainly um, ask your OC for opinions on offensive players, no doubt, going in, so what he thinks about certain players. But I think by and large, you're armed with that information when you get into your draft room, and then it's really about just executing the draft. Are you making a pick based on who's available at the time? Are you willing to entertain trades, et cetera? So, David Tolson, when the source is anonymous, how much credibility can you give it? It depends who's reporting it. Ultimately, David, that's the bottom line. If Adam Schefter reports something with an anonymous source, I'm giving it a tremendous amount of credibility. If Chuck with a podcast reports it anonymously, I don't really care what he says. If you read something on Twitter or a message board from a fan who posts it, it has no credibility. That's the point. So it's all about, do you trust the person reporting? Like, do they have a track record of being right and having good information when they report news? Personally, I think the anonymous sourcing of information is an epidemic in 2024, and it's all rooted in the race to be first instead of the race to be right. And it's not to say people who are first aren't right, but like going to journalism school, single sourcing stories and reports and doing so anonymously is so taboo, but it's just what's become accepted now because everyone has to get their information out as quickly as possible on Twitter or you lose. It's an unenviable job. I would not want to do it. Like, I would not want to be a reporter in 2024. Let's see. Rocky, good morning. Remember, if you ever think you hit rock bottom, you could be a Laker fan. Boy, what a choke job. The Lakers, how about the Knicks? I mean, the Sixers choked, but the Knicks came back to win last night. Jason Mabio, good morning. Bubba, Becky, Abner, Leon, good morning. Can you send a couple of those hats to DFW? You got it, dude. Hopefully we'll be doing business here soon. I'll tell you, Leon, we will be licensed in Texas. So if you ever have, now, candidly, to re-roof a single-family home, that's a little bit of a challenge to go all the way to Texas to do that. But if there's like a commercial job, of course we will. Brant, do you believe the LSU staff, will end up filling every key position on the football team? Do you think we should see a significant difference with one offseason? I mean, it can't get much worse. Um, uh, so I'm assuming you're meaning defense. Eh, Will they fill the positions? Well, sure. I mean, they're going to go. Look, you've already added Gio Pai as a defensive tackle. You added Sean Washington, and you're going to add at least one more interior tackle. So, right, so you're addressing those needs in the portal. You lost Neighbors and Thomas, and you went and added two guys that are veteran receivers that were their team's leading receiver a year ago. So you addressed that. You added Jair Brown at corner. So you added. So, like, my point is, I guess they've added players. The question is, can they play? And I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait until we see like boot meets ball, helmet strapped on in Las Vegas on Labor Day weekend before I believe it, man. I got to see it. Call me a doubting Thomas, and I trust this coaching staff, but like, I don't know that your personnel has changed dramatically enough defensively for me to believe it's going to be that much better. But I do believe it will be better because it would be hard to be worse. Craig, have you heard the news? Estimated at least 29% of whiskey drinkers from the vid era have bowed out of the hobby. You know what that means? Pappy's for everyone. I wonder, Craig, if that's just because people lost their taste and so they can't taste it anymore. Patrick Berglass, good morning. Who do you project the Saints taking day one? No consensus pick for us with the mock drafts. Patrick, I hope it's Olu Fashanu. By the way, we did learn that I looked up an interview. I think I did it here. I looked up an interview with him. So the Penn State offensive tackle is Fashanu, not Fashanu. I was saying it wrong. So Fashanu. Yeah, no consensus pick, but it's got to be the best tackle available at 14. Unless if you move up It's got to be the best tackle available at 14. Let's see if I can get a couple of more in here. Brent, good morning. Abner Neal, morning, Matt. Tomorrow will be our 60th wedding anniversary. Holy goodness, Abner. Congratulations to you and the missus, man. 60. That's amazing. Cheers to you and your beautiful bride on 60 years. A shining beacon, man. The consistency and the commitment to each other thing, unfortunately, we don't see enough today. But congrats to y'all, man. Remind me tomorrow. We'll do an appropriate congratulations. Mark Allen, please tell me a new jingle is coming out. A new jingle will be coming out. Absolutely. Hey, Jerry, good morning. Oh, it's 8. Morning, Matt. It was hilarious listening to LeBron and the Lakers complain about the calls. Man, Jerry, I'm with you. And I didn't see it last night. I didn't see the postgame last night, but I saw LeBron this morning while I went to the gym, was taking a shower, and I heard LeBron. Yes, saying like I don't know what they're doing at the replay center. Shut up. Again, LeBron, this is why nobody likes you. You had a 20-point lead. You didn't blow the lead because of a blown call. You blew the lead because you're old, you choked, and the best player in the world led his team to a comeback. And old street clothes couldn't close out on Murray, and he hit the game winner. So, yeah, I'm 100% with you, Jerry. Let's see. Brett, aren't you going to be in Lafayette this week? If so, where and which day? Yes, tomorrow. So I'm doing AFR Wednesday, tomorrow. I'm doing AFR Wednesday at the Tap Room in River Ranch. And then I'm going to see Nate Bargatze. So our Lafayette affiliate invited me and Erica to go with them to see the show. We love Nate Bargatze. So I'm going to go to Lafayette, do my show at Tap Room River Ranch, and then go over to the Cajun Dome for Nate Bargatze. So, yeah, y'all come out, man. 3 to 6, AFR, 3 to 6 at Tap Room River Ranch on Wednesday. So if anybody's in the Lafayette area, you want to come out, come say hi, man. It'd be great to meet y'all. I got to go. Steve, Dad, good morning. Adam Parker, Luis Alemán, Ray Langlois, what's up? Robert Potts, can you catch us up on the headline? I did a very detailed segment on AFR yesterday, but the Cliff's Notes is Jayden was on a podcast, would love to play for the Raiders, played for Antonio Pierce at Arizona State, mentioned it by name in his Heisman speech, and there is a scenario where the Raiders could trade up from 13 to 3 if the Washington Commanders decide to pass on Jayden at 2 and go Drake May, and the Patriots trade out of the 3rd pick, which they said last week they're willing to do. How did I do? All right, I got to go. Dane, good to see you, man. Hopefully we see you. Well, I don't know, Dane. Middle of the week, I don't know if you'll be at Don Juan, but if you're coming in town. But anyway, okay, y'all have an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching. I got to bounce. Sorry to be quick. As always, please subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the Matt Scone page, share the post. We'll see y'all. LSU Daily is already live, so subscribe, please, on your favorite podcast app. And AFR 3.